Okay, folks, good morning. Let's get right into the action here. Where we left off almost a week ago. All right, we got these trees, and we got more of them that have just a wash on them for future use. And then two stands here that we've done. I don't remember whether I've shown these or not, but I did. They've been primed with probably primer that's way too expensive for this, but I'm really happy with it. And that's the one-shot primer. Works a lot better than the Vallejo one. It sure seems like it. And of course it's more expensive. Of course it would be more expensive. And it comes with a smaller container, but so we've got the black overcoat on this. We're gonna do the wet dry brush of these colors here, which is the quad of colors. I was gonna say triad, but no, it's not 3, it's 4. Might even be more than that by the time I'm done, but so we can get them looking to the same stage that this one is. And then what we'll do is we'll do the groundwork, the actual grass and stuff, and get them all looking the same, and then put them together with some lichen that I did pick up, and see how we're looking there. See if I'm happy with that. All right. Get back in a place. Yeah, it's been like a week. Yeah, I just don't have time, energy, mainly energy, to do this every night. So all extra bits of cork. All right. So the first color we're using, Deco Art Americana Dark Chocolate. Now, yeah, it's super wet. But if all the colors that are probably the least problem being wet, it's this first one, because we're gonna slosh this on pretty good. Dude, I thought you abandoned us to go for milk and smokes. Yeah, weekends only, man. Weekends only. Well, I really haven't felt like doing it in the evenings. I've had guests all week, so it would have been loud, and yeah, nobody's on, man. By the time I start, you're already asleep. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, it's just shit happens. And then Tuesday nights, can't do Tuesday night because Tuesday nights went over and gamed at Mitch, and I got something to show you. I didn't want to post it on Facebook because the next thing you know, it's like people want updates, and it's not my game to do. But I played something that they're pretty much only playing stuff that's based on command and colors. And actually, this kind of doesn't look very good. And the reason why is the edge of these hexes are in different colors, and they mean something. But he took his Warhammer 40K and basically made a command and colors game out of it. And the board looks a little dysfunctional, because the color codes actually mean like different commands and stuff. But that's what I played on Tuesday. It was alright. He says, "Oh, we like to play it because it's simple." I said, I don't know if it's that simple. It might be simple after you played it several times, but that's pretty much all they're gaming now. So we're just gonna do slop, whatever the hell this is called, slop chop. Sounds like something you'd order off the menu at some Asian place. Oh yeah, epic stuff you guys showed the other day. Enjoy. It was all right. I'm not. I'll play it again. I'm not. I'm not asking to play it again. Does that make sense? You know, but I'm not asking to play it again. I did watch the video that while I went over there. The problem is I could be over there like basically all day and not play anything. I'm just hanging out, you know. But anyhow, we ended up watching a video that Little Wars took of Historicon of the games, and I'm watching this video, and one of the people that I'm never gonna play a game with again was in it. It's like, that motherfucker is at every damn war game thing. I'm not playing a fucking game with that guy. Oh, I gave it away who it is. It's a dude. He's a fucking pain in the ass. But anyways, he's in their Little Wars video. And he's not a Little Wars guy. He just happens to be a player. You know, when they panned around and look at different tables, I'm like, I'm playing a game with that motherfucker. I got some of these things coming off. I decided not to give this the whole matte, whatever that thing is called, that big, thick matte wash that holds everything together. I said I've gone my whole life never using that. I think I'll be okay. But I got a short session today. Going out of town. Won't be on tomorrow. I'll be out of town tomorrow. Come back on Monday at some point. Might do a Monday session, but unless it's some kind of a bank holiday, not much point in doing that. Everybody's going to be at work. But and yeah, Sunday I've got a seminar. I'll call it a seminar, even though I'm probably overstating the importance of what it will end up being. But I signed up for a class with Mr. Ammo Mig himself, and I'm reading this on the spray gunner site. I'm like, there's no way it's going to be the actual Mig Jimenez, and supposedly it is. So I'm bring some of my stuff and show him how to paint a couple things too. No, I'm not. I don't care how other people do things. You know, I'm not here to convert anybody. You know, but anyways, it's rather expensive class, but you're basically the products are free. So you basically buy like this kit that's over $100, and you get to keep it. Although I didn't ask like what exactly am I going to be testing it on, because do I need to bring one of my models? And I'm not going to show up with my model. So I don't want to like, oh, you know, it's almost like if you bring something to a class and then you rush to do it and you do it shitty, and like, oh, well, next time you want to do it right. Now you know how to do it. I'm like, I just happen to be in the area in the Tampa area for this weekend for a wedding. It's just pure coincidence. And I don't remember how I left this. I think there was a fair amount of black still showing when I was done with this. Man, holy litter bug. You booked Monday and Tuesday off? Really? All right, well, when I get back, I'll do and I'm supposed to get back at a decent time on Monday. Not decent enough to go to work, but decent enough to do some painting. Because the daughter needs to go, she has to volunteer she's volunteered at a medical clinic for getting her medical hours, her clinical hours. Even though she doesn't exactly know what she's going to do, she's doing medical stuff, so. But the wedding is Sunday evening, so I'm like, I'm not driving. I'm not going to a wedding with a potentially open bar and then driving in the middle of the night back a couple hours. Like, no. So I didn't know whether I was actually going to go to the wedding or not because, work, man. You'd think just taking one day off of work, it's a nightmare. That's probably the biggest reason why I'm not. Why I'm not doing my show in the evenings. Just work is just a. How do you guys say it out there? A cunt. It is just every day has been a nightmare. A nightmare of fires to put out. So I'm just honestly exhausted. I've gotten home every day this week and I'm like, I'm gonna go hibernate for an hour or so. And it's literally I go on and fire up the computer and close my little sliding glass door for an hour. Sliding glass door? No, it's not glass. That would be weird. And I don't need any more demands. It's not that I don't want to get this stuff done. It's like, man, I cannot handle any more time demands. Okay. I think that's it. Damn, I sure I did them in these order. Yeah. I gotta trust that we can go ahead and do this one too. Because we know this is the base color of it. Apparently I still have too many holidays accrued for this time of year, so they complain I need to take them. Your place hiring? God, I've been maxed out on holiday on days off that I get a year for over a decade. Probably close to 15 years. I've been maxed out. I can't get any more. And they're damn near impossible to use. So, anyhow. I think Mitch gets over twice as many days off as I do. He gets like over a month off a year. I hope he's underpaid. He's got to wear a uniform and a hairnet. Fuck him. I actually don't have a problem with the limited amount of days off I have. It's such a nightmare just to take them off. And then when you do, you got to fix everything. It's like, I told him, he's like, oh, you want to go to Historicon next year? I said, I don't plan on going to Historicon ever again. It's just too difficult to take days off. I don't have that many. I go to Historicon and I'll use, let's see, about a fourth of my days off a year just for taking a couple days off. Something like that. Did I wear red and yellow for... what happened here? For Hulk Hogan Day yesterday. There's a Hulk Hogan Day? I can't tell you anything about wrestling. Don't tell me they named another holiday. We got too many things. Oh yeah, some local, is it a school board member? Something like that. Said something disparaging on their own Facebook account about Hulk Hogan, and people have been going after, like, why you gotta say something disparaging about somebody that you've never met? And why is that so important? Yeah, I don't know anything about him. I know that he had awkward facial hair with them really long mustaches. It's like, man, stay away from my kids. Just gives you that look. Like, I can't believe you people watch anything about wrestling over there. Of all the bad habits of Americans you could pick up, don't pick up that one. He popped his clogs last week, yeah, and DeSantis announced yesterday it was official. Was it? That motherfucker doesn't have anything to do. He must have like a 1 inch penis or something like that. I mean, it's a good thing he got elected because the other guy would have shut the freaking state down because of COVID. But man, do you have nothing on your plate? It's like I said, all politicians suck. Every damn one of them. I didn't even know that Hulk Hogan even lived in Florida. Yellow and red. No, that's Spain colors. All politicians suck. You quote me on that. You don't have to believe me. They prove it every damn day. Every time they open their mouth, they're involved in something they don't need to. All that and the roads aren't fixed. Okay, like fix the roads first. No, we don't have enough money for the roads. Well, I don't want you here talk. I don't want you here talking about anything else. I don't want you talking about nothing else. I know there was I just saw just before I went on that, and this happens frequently. I'll be like, hey, let me start my show. I'm like, oh man, what are these recommendations? Oh shit, I want to watch that video. I don't want to watch that video. It's like, well, I can't. I gotta do my show. But the guy that did the palm tree stuff, whatever his name is, has a video of some crossfire scenarios. I'm like, not that I'm going to play crossfire, but he has really good looking. His terrain looks good, and his figures look good with like little markers and stuff behind his stands. I mean, I'm not doing all that shit, but I can appreciate that. I'm not playing that scale of a game. I'm not playing a squad. I mean, I guess if you had them on, if you had stands or squads or something like that. The main thing is he said brother in every sentence, brother. Well, it's better than everybody that says bruh now. Damn new generation people. Yeah, I don't have that many brothers. There's not that many people I want to be related to. And it probably goes both ways. I'm doing them a favor. You want to be related to me? Get out of here. There's too many people that are into weird shit that I don't need to be into. Well, my vision is definitely going south fast. And what I mean by that is, well, right now I don't have my glasses on, so I'm myopic as hell right now. But I can't get on the computer and use the progressives very well. I'm just, they're good for like putting them on when you get out of bed and coming over here and, breakfast and stuff like that. But if I'm looking at something on a computer, it's like, I'm not, I've had them for many years, and I'm not moving my fucking head. I'm not reading something like this, looking down, and that's just too fucking awkward. So, but with the readers, when I got the readers from when I have my contacts in, which is basically damn near all the time, I got the weakest formula, whatever it is, 125 that I could find at the time. They might make weaker ones than that, but I couldn't find them in the store. So I think they're 125s. And that's usually, if I'm on my computer, that's what I need to do. I need to have my contacts on, put my 125 readers on. And I've noticed that it's starting to be pretty blurry. So at some point, I'm going to need to go to 150. But it's like, my vision was stable for 18, certainly since the time I was like 18 until 45. It didn't change at all. Maybe 46. Just annoying. It's like, actually, using the readers isn't annoying. It's annoying that using the readers, and I really don't want to go up in strength. I really don't want to go up in strength, because the more you go up in strength, the weaker your eye gets, and then the more you have to go up in strength. The next thing you know, you're wearing Coke bottles, whether you have contacts in or not. I have jam jar glasses. I can sympathize. Jam jar. Yeah, I gotta deal with. I'm trying. These basically undo the 6.0 myopia that I have. And the readers aren't bad. The problem is that, if it's sunny, you got to bring readers and sunglasses. So you're like, what's next? You got to bring your phone and one of them fanny pack carrying cases, like an old dude with. And then socks and sandals. No, we're not doing socks and sandals. Weirdo. That doesn't even look good on hot girls. And I'm not even a hot girl to be able to pull that off. So the other day I'm like, all right, what's going on with this whole... I don't follow celebrities, but what's the deal with this Sweeney chick? And I'll tell you what, I don't understand what the deal is with her at all. I don't understand what the deal is with her. But with the ad, and I'm like, I'm reading the ad, and I'm like, man, people are just... I think we're ready for a civil war. Let's bring it on, man. Let's just throw down now. People must have like nothing to do. They must be unemployed, nothing to do, still getting their COVID money, not going to work, looking for arguments. Like, who's got time for that? I sometimes go like, oh, what's going on? Let me look this up on the internet. I'm like, what's the deal with this Sweeney chick? And I'm like, yeah, it's like, she's got, how did somebody put it? A droopy face. It's like, yeah, her face don't do anything. Well, he said, oh yeah, she's got a nice rack. I said, so do a lot of people that have a good face. Like, shouldn't do anything for me. Doesn't do anything for me. Haven't seen her in anything. Don't plan on seeing her in anything. Jam jar. Oh, like jam, like a, yeah. Well, you get contacts, man. You know, it's funny because, and I've mentioned this before, I'm still floored by it. And well, nobody's told me that they're surprised that I think this. Although I would be surprised that they wouldn't be surprised that I think this. But until recently, and I'm talking like 5 years ago. That's more. It's been more than 5 years ago. Ever since I basically take my glasses off to do this, ever since having to do readers, I didn't realize that I have enhanced vision. You know, I go my whole life. You say, "Well, you got to wear glasses." Well, that means your vision's fucked up. It's wrong. Well, no, that you have bad vision. I didn't have bad vision. It's focused improperly. And I've never used that potential to look at stuff. I never like took my contacts out and look at things up close and go, man, this got a lot of detail. Never. I just assume that it's focused improperly. I got to put my contacts on to see anything right. Instead of going like, man, I could have been painting like, you know, fingernails on these figures or something like that. Not really, but not until recently. I'm like, yeah, I just basically had enhanced vision, like the opposite of eagle vision. I don't know, or mole man vision. So I don't know that it creates me painting any better, but I'm certainly enjoying all the little nooks and crannies that things have more now. I get in here and like appreciate like little things. You know, I don't know. But it didn't take until I started using readers to realize what the issue is. I had to mansplain it to myself. That's another one of those terms that just didn't exist when I grew up. Mansplaining. There was no mansplaining. Or we didn't call it that. None of this bruh stuff. Bro. Bruh. That all started with the dab. People started dabbing and all that shit started happening. Good morning, Mr. White. What's up, bruh? What in the hell? And I really dislike, when people take stupid stuff that comes here out of this country, and I'm not in favor of it coming out of this country, and then other countries appropriate it. It's like, look, there's already stupid enough shit that happens here. You shouldn't, I mean, there's some good habits you guys could pick up from us, like, driving on the correct side of the fucking road. Pick that up, right? Not mangled languageisms. See what I did there? I don't write that stuff down on a piece of paper. Languageisms. I've had enough of you and your languageisms. Young people. And the funny thing is I don't feel like I'm old. I feel like just these 20-somethings are just a bunch of little punks. I had a friend of mine who would always say when we were in our 20s, like, when we're going to be old, we're going to complain about shit in a rocking chair. And I already like a rocking chair at the time. I've always been a rocking chair person. Maybe it's time to get that rocking chair now. Of course, it's too hot to be sitting out on the porch. I need like a swimming pool with a rocking chair in the bottom of it. We have it here, and they only... Oh, hold on a second. And they only accept bruh at the moment. Bro, not good enough. They're both terrible. God. It started with when these people that abbreviate words, but they only abbreviate them by taking one letter out, that's just lazy. Just write the whole damn thing out. Like, if you're writing a form, right? If you September, right? SEP, right? SEP period. That's September, right? December, DEC period. You don't abbreviate June. JUN. Just throw the fucking E in there, man. Just be done with it. What if the abbreviation wasn't 3 letters? What if the abbreviation for a month was 4 letters? And you had a month, say, named May. What are you supposed to do? Throw an extra letter in so that they're all 4 letters? May. Oh, we got to throw this silent E at the end of it. Well, I don't use that kind of language, just so you know. I'm old. I just say awesome. That's my word. I think that's one of my words. I go through phases. I don't know if I still do. I used to say basically. I used to say basically a lot. Like explaining stuff, basically. Well, then basically, and then basically, and basically. It's like, and then you hear yourself, and it's like, oh my God. Can I just shut up? Okay. What mustard ass color is this? Raw sienna. I hope you don't get salmonella from this. Bruh. It's terrible. It's awkward. So right now on my Italy book, which I have been listening to it a little bit on my drives are really short though. We're doing Monte Cassino. Wow, talk about things I didn't know about. I mean, obviously I know about Monte Cassino, but I'm like, okay, who took it? Well, we haven't taken it yet, or they haven't taken it yet. But the Gurkha's stranded on there. I'm like, I didn't know anything about that. It's good that I'm finding out all kinds of stuff I didn't know because it's interesting. Like, we know what the end result is, but I'd never even heard of some of these commanders before. On either side. I mean, I know Kesselring and Clark. That's it. I don't know the other people. Or didn't. All right. It's like a pumpkin ass color. Trust the process. It looked good. Got to use some of these colors that are colorful. Otherwise, it ends up looking too chalky. Even more so with this light, because anything that's even remotely white, it gets kicked back in your face. Tony, do you get a miniature? A second here. Tony, you get a miniature with a javelin case molded on. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. You get a miniature with a javelin case molded on. I don't understand what you're saying. Javelins. We're not doing any javelins, whether they're the modern javelins or the 15 millimeter ancient javelins with a javelin case. Or are you asking if I have any miniatures that happen to have a javelin case molded on them? If that's the case, I don't know how they carried javelins in the ancient world. I don't think they were in a case, and if they were, I don't think I have any figures that have them. Bow cases, yes, and the things you put the arrows in. Sorry, it's early and it's not a word I'm using on a daily basis. I know the word, I just can't think of it. Definitely those as well. So, but javelin case. Oh, got typo. Okay. No, I don't. I don't know. I don't think that javelins were carried in cases. They would be too big, and I don't have. I definitely do not have any. I don't have any spears that come in cases either, or pikes. Well, that'd be a big case. That'd be a big tube. Nothing other than a flet. What is it? A fletchy, whatever the thing's called. I do have bow cases. Most bows I have don't come in a case. It's sort of like those horse. I almost said horsehair armies. Huns and the Mongoloids. Everybody's favorite Mongoloids. There's one guy that I know. He has a hard on for the Mongols. I'm like, yeah, it's all fun and games till they come knocking on your door. It's good to like the Mongols when they're half of a world away, but if they're your next neighbor, they're as friendly as your neighborhood Assyrian. Friendly neighborhood Assyrian. Yeah, I'd be looking at this and be like, okay, this looks like shit, right? But you need some of this brightness in here to. And this color is really thin on pigment because it's pretty bright, but if you spread it on here, it actually turns green. It looks kind of greenish. And there's no visible green in here. Weird, but we're putting two other colors on top of it, so having this underlayer in this works just fine. What are you painting that uses javelins? Cavalry carried javelins in a case type things like a pipe with a bottom on it to stop them from falling out. I don't have any figures that have them though. I mean, it makes sense that they would instead of like Now I do have some figures that have several javelins in the left hand and they're thrown right-handed, and probably all the people that are left-handed are upset about it. Like, I don't have any left-handed figures. So we don't have any left-handed figures because back then people weren't left-handed. They would get beaten. They would get beaten until the left hand fell off if they found out you were left-handed. Not anything against left-handed people. I'm just saying, I was in school and it would be, 30 desks in the classroom or so. And no more than 3 were left-handed desks. And invariably, you'd use those that were right-handed. Because I don't think that there was more than, I don't know how many left-handed people there are in the world percentage-wise in a classroom, but in 30 people, you might have had, when I was in school, one person that was left-handed, maybe. Maybe. They just pretended to write with their right hand so they wouldn't get shunned. It was the 1980s, man. We just went after everybody. Everybody got bullied. Now you got me thinking, Barnes. I wonder if the Essex. I don't want to grab my figures because that'd take a while. Let's look at Essex. What are those guys called? The Essex 15mm Hungarians. Do they have some javelin cavalry? No, I think I have seen really long tubes, but they're for arrows. They happen to be. What's the light cavalry called? Hussars. I know they have ones with bows. Those wouldn't have them. And the guys that are carried javelins, like this guy here, they don't ever have spares. It's like, okay, what do you do? How do you go into battle? I go in. You fight with that spear? No. A lance? No. It's a javelin. I said, well, you bring in one and then going home. You throw one javelin and then you're done. Although I have seen a fair amount of figures that are equipped with javelins, and then their sidearm, I guess, is a bow. So in other words, they'll carry like one javelin in their hand, like the cavalry, and then they've got a bow case with like arrows too. So it's almost like, all right, we're gonna hit them with a big one. Like, we're done with that. All right, well, now we'll plink from far away. That I have seen. I don't think I've ever seen a case with javelins. They'd have to be small javelins. In other words, they couldn't be this size. It just wouldn't look right. It couldn't be a big javelin like that. It'd have to be, like maybe the ones that Romans would use or something like that. But I've never seen any Roman cavalry with like a case of them. The gripping beast. Later Roman cavalry have the javelin cases. I gotta see what that looks like. I've never seen one. Gripping beast. They make some beautiful figures. Gripping beast. Miniatures. Gripping beast. What is a gripping beast? That sounds like something from what's that damn book that sucked? Beowulf. I meant to say movie that sucked. Beowulf. That sounds like something off of Beowulf. Our ranges. Okay? Yes, I accept. Our ranges. Ragnarok. Come on. Late Romans. Sassanids, Huns, late Romans again. Okay. Cataphracts. Let's look at this light cavalry and see if they're on here. Just show me a picture of them. Some nice looking figures. Those on the light cavalry, maybe the heavies. Really nice looking figures. Oh, and they're plastic? Oh, here's the metal ones. Well, I don't doubt they have them, but I can't see them. Thunderstorms likely to start in the next 2 hours. Well, we're getting out of town. I don't give a shit. Yeah, see, as this is drying, it's less bright. It was super bright when I put it on. Now it actually looks okay. Sounds like a lonely man's friend. That's the problem with the comments, is they show up so much later after I've changed the subject. I don't know what that's about. Lonely man's friend. I wasn't talking about a bottle of gin. Lonely man's friend whiskey. See, that wouldn't work for me. 'Cause I'm a social drinker, so if I'm alone, I'm not drinking. I got to drink to put up with some people. If there's no people here, I'm good with this guy. I don't need to drink to put up with myself. Gripping beast, a lonely man's friend. Yeah, what is it? Sounds like some Grendel creature. Like bloody Saxons. Saxons sound pretty cool too. Look at their army list. Like, oh my god, what in the are you talking about, man? Like, can I have a variety of troop types? Like, no, you got warband. Like, thanks, pal. The sound of oral indigestion. Yeah, Saxon sounds cool. Like, oh, the Saxons. Here come the Saxons. And then you get the list, and it's like, holy shit, there's nothing here other than warband. Warband and a tribal chief. Tribal chief. We'll go put a friggin' feather in his head and tell him to get lost. Get out of here. I mean, this changes a lot. I mean, that's tremendous how this tones down. So what we're going to do is we'll finish these 3 stands. I did buy some lichen. They got it back in stock. Dark green lichen. They had light green lichen. I'm like, no, we need the dark green one. I wouldn't mind having some light green, but it mostly has to be dark green lichen. And just see what we can get our battlefield to look like to get motivated to keep on going. Although I've looked at the pictures of that magazine recently, and I'm like, my stuff's looking better than that. So, and I thought it was inspiring. Just was in that magazine. So, we're going to do a small table ish. So, we should be able to afford to make things look really, really nice. And I mean afford. I don't mean like actual cost. I mean like time that it costs to make all this stuff. Speaking of indigestion, yeah, I know. Lonely man's friend. You got any big plans tonight? No, I'm just going to go home and watch some porn with a gripping beast. What? Yeah, hopefully you don't get all this the stupid shit they put on the news you guys don't hear about over there. It's not worth hearing about. You guys have your own celebrities. You don't have to worry about no Sydney Sweeney thing. Besides, you go to any grocery store at just about any time, and you find girls that just are knockouts compared to that chick. They didn't do anything for me. Probably better actresses too. And all droopy faced. What was that? What was that chick that was like super popular like 10 years ago that was on everything? And she's dumber than a box of rocks, but what was her name? Kate something. Looks like has a face looks kind of like Marilyn Monroe. She's got a pretty face, but she also dumb. At least she has a pretty face. Was Kate Upton or whatever? Yeah, she. I think caught a clip of something her on a movie or something like that. Like, oh my god, this girl is like dense. Like, yeah, I like smart girls. Smart girls are hot. I mean, they gotta be attractive too. I mean, that's kind of important. Yeah. Sorted now. Okay. I've seen a lot of people that like they show up to the battle with three javelins, right? They got one in hand, and they got two that they're kind of carrying it in a way that just is giving me a hand cramp. Just trying to picture how it is, you know. Mangled like trying to hold two, but not. Ah, the life of a javelinier. You know, but if you show up and like, hey, I thought, what do you do here in the battle? Oh, I throw javelins, and you only have one javelin. That's like you're a slacker. You're just dying to throw that one javelin and then go home. That's got no lasting ability. At least the slingers have like a bag of rocks. So I'm reading this World War II account, and there's something is obvious to me pretty quick. When I hear something that there's casualties, I just assume that's dead people. Like there was 3,000 casualties. To me, it's 3,000 people died. No, that's just 3,000 people out of action. I said, okay, well that's very different. That's very very different. And I don't know what the percentage is, but I would hazard a guess that there's probably three people injured for each one killed. Normally, I know there's exceptions to everything else, you know, like, but I'm used to seeing, you know, how many killed. But then you think, you know, casualties, oh, you're wounded. I said, yeah, but there's some wounded, like, you know, you lost both your legs, like, you're pretty much done for, right? Like, if you're losing both your legs, you know, I don't know, I don't care if you're dead, but you're not going to be fighting the enemy kind of thing. So yeah, that probably counts as a loss. But yeah, from a standpoint of playing games, like, okay, how many people died? Like, you need to kill this many guys. Like, well, if you turn everybody into a paraplegic, they may not be dead, but they're not going to be coming after you. They're neutralized. Okay, we are done with this color. This orange hell, whatever this is. Raw sienna. Okay, next up is rusted pipe. That's not what I would have called this. I'd call this creamed camel or something. Soup of the day. What's the soup of the day? Oh, we got creamed camel today. Creamed camel or camel cream? There's a difference. Although there's probably camel cream inside of a creamed camel, but... This cheap ass paint, the black is literally the best color of them. It covers the best. The rest of these are just they're a little weak on substance. I actually I enjoy doing this part because it's I'm not being really methodical in it, and the end result's pretty darn good. Yeah, my stomach's making all kinds of Saxon war cries. So when we do our next show, I'll probably have some products to talk about. We'll see. We'll see if I use any of them. Hey, at least it comes with a one-shot primer, more than one-shot primer. I like that. Find out what the hell these atom paints are all about. You'd be pissed if they don't fit in there. Like, oh, they're just a slightly bigger diameter, so they won't work with any of the other containers. I need to paint. Figure seems like I spent a month doing bases. Well, as long as you don't mind doing it, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. I mean, I think I went about this the correct way. Instead of painting a bunch of little nips, it's like, let's paint the terrain for them first. Because the figures will paint themselves. Meaning, I'm always motivated to do figures. Figures always turn out well. Seems like it anyways. So it's like terrain you could use for gaslands. I don't know how cost effective this stuff is. This sheet was expensive. It was like $8, but I think I can make a lot of terrain out of it. Well, but what's really expensive is if you buy something, regardless of its cost, and you don't do anything with it. You know, it's like ordering a meal and then not eating it. Like, don't do that. And the only thing about this I didn't like is how long it takes for the goop to dry. And it takes even more than normal than on stands because I do lay it. It is a little thick in some places. You know, it's either that or you take even longer trying to spread it out. But all these little bits and bobs of the cork will end up getting used. Let's see what I'm doing here from afar a little bit. What do people call this wet dry brush? Overbrush? I probably have palm trees to make 10 of these. Which sounds like I need more, but I don't need any more until I use these up. Boy, my stomach's out of control. Just having a concert there. You'd think it hurt or something. Be like, oh, doubled over. All right, last one is mushroom iced coffee. Well, we're out of that. Maybe we can get to this. You mix your own goop, artist texture paste, and sand, really fast drying. I need to. What I need to work is I need to work at a QC department for like chairs and stuff. I can fuck up a chair in no time. I can get it not working and start creaking in no time. That sounds like a dream job. What do? I sit on a recliner and rock until you start squeaking and realize how long it takes for that to start happening. Yeah, I got that matte medium. That's what that stuff's called. I don't even know why I have it. I think I probably read somewhere to make my own glaze or something like that on it. It has a strong. It doesn't have a bad smell. It's just like, where's the smell come from? It's not. It's unusual for paint to have a smell. It smells a little like house paint. It makes sense. That's what it would smell like. Latex house paint. Yeah, I haven't messed with the matte medium much. I got a whole bottle of it. It was expensive. I don't remember what I got it for. I like this terrain that goes both ways. Is it volcanic? Is it clay-like? Is it? I don't know. What do you want it to be? Poetic painting. What do you want it to be? I keep thinking I need to get some rocks from work. Put one or two, like big ones. And I can add them after the fact, or just do it on the next piece. I figure put these together like a little, not a scenario, but a little, just see how they look. And I may realize I don't like ones this size. I want them more this size. Or the opposite. Bigger is better. But I'm definitely liking this material better than the MDF. Because the problem with the MDF is I have to seal it or it'll warp. And I didn't seal this at all. So that saves a step. Really, you have Monday and Tuesday off? Well, you shouldn't take Tuesday off because I won't be on. I'll be putting out fires on Tuesday for sure. taking one day off. I suspect I'll probably have close to 50 emails. Yeah, week's been real frustrated. Haven't had a drink any day after work. It doesn't solve anything. Besides, if it did, I need to drink there, not here. You seal your bases with a thin coat of Mod Podge. I dread warping. I haven't ever sealed a single base, and I just don't feel the need at this point to add more steps to my long ass process. I'm not opposed to doing it. I'm not looking for more busy work. Man, they make Mod Podge in all kinds of different flavors, don't they? Satin, and I was looking at it at the hobby store, at the Hobby Lobby that they have it. Not Can't really call Hobby Lobby a hobby store. It's not. Still more of a craft store than. All right. Let me go. Let me go get some purple drink. And I'll be right back. Now, I did take a picture of this with the palm trees that I plan on putting on there, so I don't spend a whole lot of time trying to find out where the holes were that I drilled in this, or maybe not spend as much time drilling the holes in here. Now, I had no intention of making the palm trees removable. It just kind of happened, and I may have to glue them at a later date, but again, I don't see any reason to spend more time on it than I need to. So I'm going to find, I know the palm trees for this one are here. Let me find the picture that I took of this one and see if I can decipher where these go. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do the inside. Match inside to inside. All right. Let's move out the usual suspects here. And I probably am going to seal this when I'm done. Some of these palm trees, and I've lost track, have been sealed and some of them have not. So I'm probably going to seal all of them. I just started getting too excited. Okay, where is the oddball palm tree? Okay, the oddball palm tree is this guy. And this guy is here somewhere. I think that's it. Really, these two are that close together? Okay, you the boss. I mean, it's not like they don't naturally grow that close. Okay, the big one, this one, the big one is about here. All right. And we have the next biggest one. And it doesn't have to be exactly at this spot. Three little ones, four little ones. Actually, this one's going through 3 layers. Can be one of the taller ones. Only the double layer one is here. It's hanging out about. Of course, remember, this is after it has goop in it. Because I may have to remove them to put a little figure there to get them to fit where I want them to be, so more or less. All right. We've got, what do we have left? And it doesn't have to be these exact trees because ultimately does not matter. This was just an idea of some. Okay, so we had the tallest one, actually not on the tallest spot. I think this one's this one. And she was up here on this outcropping. Okay, and then in the middle we have a shorter one. Looks like this one. See there. Okay, and a little guy. Something like that. Now, let me look at it. And obviously we have, we'll have smaller plants and stuff down here. Okay. So the only thing I'm not a huge fan of so far, of all the things I've bought, and most things actually turned out better than I thought they were going to, but the only thing I'm not a big fan of is these red plants. I'm not saying they're not usable. I'm just saying I don't want to mix them in the middle of this because they look really out of place. They look really out of place. So what we don't have is any more of these little guys. And these are certainly handy. So let's get the palms on this one. This one squared away as well. And they're in the bag. And they're I have a feeling like if you're on this base, your cover needs to be variable or something like that. Like you do a die roll to see if that way you're not like it's specific that you're behind a certain tree trunk or something. All right. Let's take a look at man, those airbrushes that the Iwata airbrush has now dropped to $64.99 from $149. Man, if I had extra cash, I would have bought another one. But $65 for a HPCS is a heck of a deal. That's wow, that's a lot. Yeah. Whose picture are these? Oh, this is whatchamacallit's terrain. Joe Bilton. Yeah, see, this looks good. It uses a fair amount of lichen out there. But the base is actually, like a rag, so to speak. Not a rag, but a towel. Ya basta. I think these are the same plants that I have. Some of the leaves here look awful familiar. It's big trees like these back here that don't have anything like that. So I'm going to be on the lookout for those. Okay. Man, I took a lot of pictures of this video. Okay. These from the same angle or the opposite angle? Same angle, unfortunately. Okay. So that's this right here. Okay, so the big papa tree, is here. Okay, this little guy is about there. Okay, and this other one, yay, is here. Definitely, that one was squishy. And this one is over here. Okay. And then we have another one of these. Style ones. There. This other pokey joker is here. And this one that's not appearing in this film, 1, 2. I don't see it. No, we can't. No problem with just adding it somewhere. These kind of are all over here, so what if we put that one there and put the small one? Like so. Okay, well, one thing I've got definitely have to do is I need to take more of these little plants. You make more of these little jokers. Okay, so I'm going to move this to the side. Move this to the side. And I'm going to go get this really queer thing that makes these plants. This was $4. And I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be other than reproductive harm. Yes, we're not going to violate this. Yeah, and inside of here, there's these little sprigs. And on inside each one of these sprigs have these ends that'll pull off, and they're soft rubber. So I think you can. And then you're left with I'll never have to buy one of these, I don't think. No, I didn't wash these. They're going to cause reproductive harm when I play with them. Yeah, see, the sprigs will actually come out of there as well. Which I guess you could probably make a plant in and of itself. It looks like that. Now that'd be like an alien plant, right? If you just remove this whole thing. Let's see what one of these looks like. One of these that I haven't removed the things from. Come in here and get one of these in the center. Let's see what this looks like. Damn it. I did remove one of them already. All right, let's put one of them back. Okay, so this thing naturally looks like this. Now, that could even look like a plant. What if you put one of those in the middle of it? I'm not going to lie, that doesn't look half bad. You know, it's got a hole in the middle of it. This has a stem. Can even do one of these. Yep, of course it fits. Some made the same Chinese factory. Looks better with the other one, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna forego doing that just yet. We're just gonna do these low line ones, but I'll keep one of these as a memento there. Yeah, I feel like this is a really good value. Okay, let me get a few more. Yeah, I brought my readers and my super readers to the store, and I really started to look at things up close and see what I can, because this works really well. The problem is you want some jungle options for the ground coverage, and we're not even talking about the grass yet. Some larger plants. Yeah, you want the battlefield to take you to a different place. And unfortunately, it looks like I do have some trimming to do on this. But if this thing has 1, 2, 3, this one has like 5, then that's like 5. This one probably should have a 10. I should have at least 15. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got plenty. All right, let's put this away. Now, the secret is holding these things down while you paint them. And for that, we used our little friend, whatever it is. It was right here. Well, the white tack stuff. See if any of this stuff needs trimming. Because some of them have. Like that one's okay. Checked out those fake garden wall panels. Plant panels, yeah. Sure. And I think that there's stuff available to all of us through Amazon, regardless of where we are in the world. And then there's some things that I haven't seen. Like, I want to say I saw a video or something of someone that had. It looked like an indoor-outdoor. Looked like one of those little mats that's made out of the hard plastic, maybe material like this. That's all like really tight together, and there's like this skeleton frame. Just laying out, and you can pull the individual pieces out, like I did with this, and it's a different plant pattern. Those would be handy, but I haven't seen that on Amazon. I haven't seen it in the stores, but that's what it looks like it is. And this is just a little bit of the strong tone over it. I haven't even dry brushed any of them. So they'll probably look even better. And I'm not opposed to, I may do that. I might buy a really cheap white towel, get some dye, which I don't know shit about. I don't know anything about RIT dye, but I might as well just airbrush it. I mean, my airbrush skills are definitely good enough to be able to pull stuff like that out. This has got flash galore on that one. Of course, this is going to have grass on there as well. It's not like it's going to be all brown. All right, let's do that now. What if I decided to grab these by here and applied the wash? All right, now how do I get rid of them? I'd have to grab them and get this shit all over my hands. You got shit all over them. Let's see which one of these we want to use. We don't want to use one that's going to take forever to get the liquid off. This is still wet. We don't want to use that one. That's soft tone. See if we can kill one of these, then we'll be down to one. I want to keep this bottle. I don't know why. I may find a use for it for something else. Those are actually, as bottles go, they're much better bottles than the Vallejo bottles. They're more robust. All right, let's get something like this. It's funny, I went from doing the 15 millimeter armies, there was like no washing on them at all. But then I didn't use these products. I'm sure they were available. These pre-made washes, big fan. Well, there's one. All right, now, if I had another pair of tweezers, which I do, you get ones that are clean. Let's see if we can pull this off. This will be handy if I can. All right, and just grab it anywhere, release this other one, and then I can place them there to dry. The 2 tweezer system. Excellent. Now I could use a bigger brush, but I feel like if I use a bigger brush, I'm probably going to miss spots on this. The whole point is not have to go back and redo any of this. Yeah, almost remind me of like they're artichoke-like in a way, like a loose artichoke. Yeah, I haven't been wanting to do this on a workday morning, but by the time I get rolling, it's time to go to work, and it's just another interruption. And I swear interruptions are becoming my cancer. Okay, come over here, grab this other one, put her there. Excellent. Yeah, we might be tempted when I get back to mess with a vehicle, because tomorrow it's basically vehicle detailing products. And I have my own style of doing things, and I don't think whatever I come up with, whatever the miracle things they have on there are going to really change that. I am really interested. The thing I'm the most interested in of all the products are this thing called oil brushers. Although I feel like I'm better with a paintbrush than any kind of like a pen or something like that, but I'd like to see those in action. And how the Atom paint hand paints. Not like I'm going to replace all the paints, but I'm just saying, if I need, Dunkelgelb, for instance, I might buy the Atom Dunkelgelb. Because I hate hand painting the Ammo MIG paints that I have now. They're painful to paint, to hand paint. Oh, this is gonna get real goopy in a hurry. Too late. Oh, look at this big bulbous thing. Get out of here. The tree circumciser. This is the last one of Strong Tone. Pick up a mental note. I think they carry that stuff there at Sprague or buy another Strong Tone. I like that I'm using multiple companies' products. It's not like, all I use is this one company and then they go out of business and you're up a creek. Like, I'm a big Tamiya fan, but if you look at Tamiya instructions, they just basically ignore any other kind of paints. Like, okay, here's the code you got to use, and sometimes to get a color, they'll give you the proportions of what Tamiya colors you got to use to make this other color, but it's like, yeah, that's a pain in the ass. The only colors I have not messed with much, and they're not easily available here in the United States, are the AK third generation paints. Because they're even thicker than Vallejo, and I think that's a good thing because I thin everything down anyways. So the fact that they come out, you get more pigment in them. It sure seems that way. I haven't done an airbrushing video in a while, but that's going really well. I've been able to thunder. I've been able to airbrush, give it a quick clean, take it apart, not take the needle out, and it works just fine the next time I use it. So I've just been doing stuff like, using the AK one-shot primer, that kind of thing. Run some rubbing alcohol through it afterwards. Now, I don't want the cleaning process to take 10 minutes and when I showed up there to paint 5. That's like a bad use of time. I may have to stop soon, unfortunately, but at least we got pointed in the right direction here this morning. I got lots of flash on here. Third AK Gen are my favorites at the moment. Yeah, the only ones I have are these. Ow. And they hand paint nicely. But I'm not going to replace all my paints. But if like I'm already out of this color, I'll get one of those and try it out. Yeah, I can't go to a store and get them. They airbrush fine, they hand paint fine. They're almost like Vallejo paints with a little bit more pastel in them. And I don't mean color-wise, I mean consistency. Like they're creamier. And I think that's a good thing. But it is annoying that there's so many paint choices, or so many things that are discontinued. There's so many paints that get replaced by another paint. You don't know which is the one that replaces it. It's just a lot of paint drama. Yeah, I like the creaminess of them. They apply a lot. They apply nicely. The creaminess really isn't that useful for airbrushing. It is useful for hand painting when you thin them down a little bit and they still have the same way like when you thin down the coat the arms that are just, they're beautiful to apply. Okay, this is working well. Again, some positivity in the morning. That's why we do this. Well, these little plants are on this stand. They're not glued down. They're just sitting there. And I don't have a huge interest in gluing them down. I'm actually okay. That might be the thing to do. Hey, if it works better and it's less work, double win. I never had a use for these tweezers. I ended up buying like a cheap set on eBay, and they weren't worth a damn. They don't come down to a very fine point to grab things. So I'm happy to find another alternative use for them. The place to buy tweezers is one of these IPMS model shows because they have them all out there and you can like see them in person and like even try them out, like see if they go to the right point and everything. But I didn't buy any. Just figured I could just make do with what I have. As long as I don't lose this pair. I've had this pair of tweezers for close to 40 years. It's funny how you can have some things for a really long time and other things just disappear without a trace. I could probably make my own stuff, but I just haven't. Like when I dyed all those bricks, I'm like, man, there's no way I can go through all this material. So I ended up just basically using dirty paint water, for lack of a better word, and just dyed all the bricks. That was another win. Because they came in way too bright. But it's got to look in a way you're going to be happy with it. Like, I look at stuff in those war game magazines, like, that looks amazing. And then sometimes I see stuff and I'm like, that just doesn't look so good. And one example I can use is there was recently a battle that might have been a salute or something like that. And it's just kind of like a design choice that they decided to do with this particular scenario. But it was like a Battle of Berlin board. And it had like this, I want to say like a big park, with buildings around the outside, but there was definitely greenery. There was green lawn on it, and the lawn was just too green. it took away from the great effects that they did on everything else. So if they would have made the, I mean, it was golf course green. It was way too bright. For my thoughts. It's like, sometimes you see examples of things that people do, and you're like, okay, that was really handy, so I know not to do that. Or, something that just doesn't appeal to you. And this, most of the time, is the opposite. Like, man, it looks amazing. Let me try that. I need to buy like 4 bottles of this stuff. Man, my stomach is just out of control. There's like a thunderstorm in there. I wonder what it is. It must be the black coffee. It's the only thing that makes sense. It would be that. But the seminar I'm going to is only 2 hours. So you can't have any like great aspirations of what you're going to be able to produce while you're there. So I'm not going to bring anything to work on. I'm just going to see him use the products in action. Like I said, oil brushers I'm really interested in. That's the latest thing I've done is adding those, I was going to say spits and stains, but yeah, all those drippings. And that is one of the most fun things to do. Your stomach has come out in sympathy with you. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the position I'm sitting in or whatever. It's not painful. I mean, it sounds like I'm about to shit my pants, but it's actually not intestinal. It's like sympathetic stomach. Would that be a good name for a band? Sympathetic stomach. I don't know. Maybe, but probably play music I wouldn't like. See, I like going to the craft store to figure out. I've looked at plants like this before, but it's like it wasn't until like I'm okay. We're actually doing Pacific terrain now. You know. Next thing I need to go in there and look for some animals, just for ambiance. I noticed that Bilton had a couple of water buffaloes on one of the things. I said, "Yeah, that's what you want. Shoot the water buffalo." A tiger. Even better, a liger. The liger's lair. Poo flinging monkeys. So hopefully I'm really impressed with those oil brushers. Or it might be like, I could do that with, I can do that with these stains already that I have. The only thing I'm definitely not getting into is those dusting things. We're not putting light colors in crevices. That's just not my style. Looks like we're gonna get them done. I'm not gonna paint this little plant. It's just a reminder, but this is definitely pretty useful. What's up, Justin? What made you get into tabletop landscaping? I'm tired of seeing pictures of wargame tables that look salivatingly good, and mine isn't. And we're doing it backwards. We're doing the terrain first. You know, we got figures and we got vehicles. We got that shit down. Let's work on this and before we get sidetracked. I'll leave the top off. That'll guarantee I don't need any more. What I really like is I don't have the need to move this stuff from one place to another. So having loose things is okay. As opposed to making sure everything's glued down all the time or I hear thunder, but I don't it doesn't look dark out there. Must be coming from a different quadrant. It's unusual to have thunderstorms in the morning. It happens, and it's happened recently, but they're usually an afternoon thing. I don't have a gaming table. I don't have a dedicated one, but I have one I can convert into one. It's 2x4, which sounds tiny, but it's perfect for this. I got a I got an island in the kitchen that's 40 inches by 92, something like that. Might even be longer than 92. You know, the gaming part's not that important to me, though. I mean, I've been gaming every day. I just haven't been doing this gaming. I've been playing a War Thunder and World of Warships. Just something to do. Not today though. Didn't do that today. Okay, just 3 more to do. Oh, good. I'm wrong. Hey, what's up, Hoffman? How's it going with the cards game? I got up to major on that last iteration. Had one game the other morning. I want to say Wednesday morning. I'm like, I'm gonna play this game. It lasted 25 minutes. It was a pretty intense game. And then those stupid commandos. Yo yo sama. Sama sama not your mama. I wonder if you could understand why I'm doing Pacific stuff because of the look of that cards game. There's some beautiful cards there. Just beautiful. I got, what did I see the other day? I saw a which Japanese tank is it? Chito, I don't know. It looks like a Chiha with a like a gun that can actually knock something out, like a 75 or something like that. I don't mean a self-propelled gun. I mean an enclosed tank. That's real pretty tank. Cards have been all right. Ended up buying me some 20 millimeter Japs. There you go. Really? Where's the man? It sounds like it's nearby, but I don't know how. Look at this. A freaking coal miner. Where the hell's the weather, man? Rain starting in 52 minutes. I don't see anything really heavy. Oh, there's little bits of it coming. I think I have to. I think I have to stop and start packing. I do. Yeah. I see the lights on over there. All right, folks. Cheeto. Yeah, it was pretty cool looking. All right, folks. So we've got this done. We've got the 2 palm tree bases here done. We'll let these dry. I'll be back on Monday. I'll be back on Monday afternoon probably. So we'll pick that up then. You guys have a good week.